Hello, everyone. Holy emojis. Welcome. Thanks to Cade's Arcade and Bo Caius for following the channel. That's why you guys got the cool emojis there. But welcome to another episode of this awesome campaign. So, first couple things before we get into it, just a few announcements. We made a couple of different announcements over the course of the week leading up, or at least over the course of today. We actually found out a new mechanic for you guys to actually join in on some of the fun. So, of course, finally getting used to being an affiliate has its benefits. So one of the things that you guys are going to be able to do now is actually utilize channel points and bits to actually have an impact on the game. Descriptions are down in the About Me section of the stream, but basically channel points, as you guys know, the more you guys talk in chat, the more you actually get as a reward. And as a result, you guys will be able to actually cash those points in to do a number of different things. Some of them are just simple hydrate like a lot of the other Twitch streamers have, but you'll also have the opportunity to actually cash those points in to give +1s or -1s to any of our players or myself throughout the game. Now, keep in mind it's going to be one at a time. So if we get a +1 for Juliet, for example, we're only going to do one at a time. Somebody's already got a -1. That's awesome. Good job, Shirley. We are actually going to do this one at a time. So whatever the next dice roll is for that particular character, we'll actually keep that in mind as we're going through this. So the other thing is with bits, the actual payouts are described down below in the actual chat there. I'm just going to double check while we're talking here because I don't remember them off the top of my own head. But you can actually cash them in to give our players advantage or inspiration depending on what you guys want to do. So that's actually really cool as well. So the amounts for that is all down there. All you have to do is when you cash in your bits, it's 500 for giving our players advantage and 10,000, or it should be 1,000, not 10,000. I'll fix that. 1,000, and just name the player or the person that you want to give that advantage to as we're going through this. So I'll actually fix that right now as we're going through it. Let's see here. Other announcements, we're still doing that one-on-one coaching. There's a link for that down in the About Me section, as well as the stream gear that we actually utilize in order to actually make this game possible. But now that I've gone and talked about that and all that fun stuff this entire time, we can actually bring the rest of the players back in here. We've got Ben, Ashley, JD, and Jody. Ben, if you want to go ahead and actually tell the people what you guys got going on.
Yeah, I totally wasn't scrolling through and looking what all the things are. No, I have the video recorded that I was supposed to have up today. Just had a little bit of an issue with YouTube Studio, and so should be up like later tonight. But then got the list of that, and got the next one halfway scripted at this point.
Nice.
But just trying to keep that ball rolling again.
Absolutely. And then Ashley, what do you guys get going on with? Are you sure you want to do that?
We have a few things that is going to be starting up here soon. Icewind Dale is going to be coming out, and so sometime this month we will be running an Icewind Dale live stream campaign on Tuesdays. We will get all of that information to you guys soon. This week's interview that's going to be put up on YouTube for interviewing with is going to be Maybe Damage and B-Day Walters. So please take a look at that and look at their insights. It's really fun. We have a couple of other things that's still being worked on, but feel free to follow us on either Ashley DeBard, which is my Twitter, or the Are You Sure You Want to Do That official Twitter page. And yeah, keep up to date with all our fun and kooky stuff we got going on. And yeah, that's really about it.
Excellent. And then JD, you said you had an announcement tonight.
No, nothing.
Oh, you can kill me. Well, anyway, if that's it, that's all the announcements. We will actually pick up where we last left off. So, where we last left off. Our group of adventurers, after meeting in the Full Bears pub in Timberwood, all of them ventured forth to look into the disappearance of a man named Henry, as well as some other lumberjacks who have been disappearing from town. After being attacked on the road by a lycanthrope werewolf and others, our party found a note on the body of one of the lycanthropes pointing them to investigate the location and the intentions of an individual identified as the Alchemist. You ran into a man named Jordan after some investigating around town, and he was able to lead you to a cave where he remembered that the alchemist snuck off to a couple nights before after he followed him. On your way, you encountered a group of 3 hermit-like women in the woods around a bubbling cauldron who offered you a deal. Curing your friend Morharan of his curse of lycanthropy, which you had acquired during the battles before, in exchange for the head of this alchemist. Venturing forth, Jordan was able to lead you to that cave where you guys navigated yourself through. A number of you went into the cave while Juliet stayed back with Jordan as you guys kind of ventured forth. After slaying a few of the grung minions of the alchemist on your way through the cave, you found yourself in a chamber of man-made construction where you found the body of an unconscious man fitting the description of Henry, tied to an altar in the middle of the room, with a humanoid individual attending to various concoctions and chemicals and reagents when you bashed your way into the room and knocked the door down. This individual then turned around saying, "Who are you? You should not be here." And that's where we left off. So, Juliet, after hearing the commotion of a number of different mace smacks and clangs and some spells hitting and going and kind of occurring, Jordan is getting a little skittish. He kind of looks at you and goes, I hope they're going to be okay. What should we do?
You know, I really should be with them, but I'm out here watching over you. Do you think you'd be able to manage yourself if we go in there? I mean, maybe if the first, if the, not maybe not out here, maybe in the cave, if it's safe. How about this? I'll go in front of you and you stay behind me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sounds good. And you see this this individual again, this like dusty man, dark hair, that giant scar with the flower kind of growing out of his cheek. It's a very weird, kind of almost disturbing kind of sight as you kind of look at him, but he kind of eagerly was like, "Okay, you can go first." And with that, you guys enter the cave. As you guys enter, you see what appears to be the spread of just disheveled-looking grung, dead grung individuals. Just kind of, there's 3 of them on the ground. None of them breathing. Looks like they've been picked clean. What would you like to do?
I just like to walk past the bodies,
Okay.
ignoring them, just kind of looking at them like, the boys did a good job.
Okay. As you do that, you have 2 options. There's actually one way you can actually go that actually has a bunch of funguses and stuff like that kind of growing around the entranceway, and then there's also one that's kind of completely clear. Go ahead and give me a survival check to determine where your friends went.
Okay. If I could, though, I would like to check out the funguses, because I should know a thing or two about funguses. I sent it. Did it go in?
Yeah, it went in. So the strewn about body parts and stuff like that are very hard to really hard to just kind of interpret. They've kind of muddied up the battlefield quite a bit. Looking at the funguses, for that, just go ahead and give me just a straight nature check really quick.
Okay. Nature, where are you?
Yeah, no, these are some very weird, mysterious mushrooms. It's nothing like you've ever seen. And being a native of not of this like kind of upper world here in the prime material plane, these mushrooms are really difficult for you to identify yourself. You're more than likely to grab a couple if you'd like, but other than that, you can't really figure something out about them.
I'd like to take a few and shove them in my satchel or something.
Okay, and you do that. You can write in your inventory 2 mysterious mushrooms.
Cool.
And with that,
now I'm going
what would you like to do? Okay, which way are you going?
Which how many ways do I have to go?
You have 2. You have the way with the different funguses and stuff like that, but you also have this other pathway that is not that this fungal growth isn't like kind of overgrowing.
I'm gonna go that way.
Okay, so you go that way. That actually leads you into another room. You see these 4 different obelisk pillars, kind of like all centered around this chamber, with a rather large crank in the middle. You see across the way that there's actually a doorway. Give me a perception check.
Sure.
11. Even within 11, you can actually hear the sounds of what sounds like the croaking of an individual, almost like it's just been dealt a fatal blow. You also see another corridor kind of going off to the right as part of this cave system. But the one in front of you with the door, it appears that the door is right now slowly closing down and looks like it's about to shut. What do you do?
I'm gonna go through it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can actually make your way and tumble through.
Did I do it?
Yep,
No.
you did. Okay.
Okay.
So you get there and you make your way and you get about halfway through the door, but your ankle kind of gets caught underneath the door. And so it's going to take you some time to kind of figure out how to get out of there, but you will eventually manage to get out of there. And with that, Timmick, Morharon, Shirley, you all have just busted into this room. You again see Henry sitting there, lying unconscious on this altar with this alchemist looking at you, confused, puzzled, but very angry. She kind of looks at all of you and, what do you guys like to do?
So I'm gonna point my spear at her and just be like, stand back from that man. We've been sent here to rescue him.
I'll get out my longbow then.
How far away are we from Henry?
From Henry, you guys are approximately... You guys, because you guys bashed in through the door, I would say that Maury and Shirley, you're about 20 feet away, with you, Timmick, within 5 feet behind them, so about 25 feet away.
And you said he's on.
And he appears to be unconscious. He's just kind of laying there right now. With that action of taking out, with you taking out your spear, this individual clutches at their side and goes, "Never! I need you guys to roll initiative." So we will push you guys over there in 1 second once I get this map to cooperate.
You want me to roll initiative as well?
I am going to have you roll initiative as well, but I need to get you guys on the tracker here really quick. So hold on. If I can get this computer to cooperate.
Okay.
Technology.
So yeah, you guys can all roll initiative. And
Oh my god.
I will change the music.
Jack of all trades. Oh, son of a biscuits.
Why isn't it let me roll initiative?
Me neither.
Go to the little hand that's on the main page.
Here, I can do it for you guys.
I get it.
Okay.
I was doing it from my character sheet. Usually,
Oh, okay.
not doing it this time.
Okay.
Yes, I had the same issue.
All right. All right, and we will start. So you see this individual, as you guys walk in, they actually reach out and reach for their wand, and they go ahead and they actually go out and cast a spell at you, and switching over to the actual scene so you guys can see it. They go ahead and cast a spell at you. It looks very familiar to one that you've actually all seen before. And they actually are going to be casting in a 20-foot cube. You guys see these kind of green vines all of a sudden just kind of come up from under the ground and just start whipping around underneath your feet. And they kind of are very difficult to kind of traverse. They kind of whip around, they continue to kind of move, and they're very thick, entangling type green plants that kind of surround this ground in this area that you can see on the screen. And with that, I believe that should, yep, and then that will actually go ahead and end their turn. So we'll be going next to Morharon. You are right now inside of these vines here. Now they don't actually require you to actually make, they don't do damage, but if you're gonna move from the position that you're in, you will have to make a check for it, just so you know.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna.
Actually, I do need to. Sorry, I'm reading it wrong. I do need a strength saving throw first.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'll actually need a strength saving throw from everybody as well.
Okay.
Maury, you're fine. Shirley, you're fine. Timmick, you are considered restrained for right now. Just so you are aware of that. Because these vines kind of come up and whip around and they kind of grab at your feet and kind of hold you in place there. Now it's your turn, Maury. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to get right up in her face if possible.
Okay. This is considered difficult terrain, so it will cost you double your movement, but you should be able to get there, I believe, based on kind of the distance you're trying to travel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it should take.
Yeah, you should. Yep, you should be able to get there. Go ahead.
Going right up.
Okay.
Just gonna go ahead and smack her with the maul.
Okay. Go ahead and smack with them all.
Right. And
20 definitely hit. 22 definitely hits. Damage is 10 bludgeoning.
and I'm actually gonna add some damage to that. Oh, great!
Awesome.
Watch out!
Solid 1 extra damage.
And then, while I'm there, I see my buddy. I'm gonna actually throw a hand axe at her too. That's disadvantage.
Disadvantage on. Whoa. Okay, so using the first one, 20 also definitely hits for 7 slashing damage.
All right. And so let's see. That took me 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna get between her and my buddy.
Okay.
And you know what? I don't like this lady. I'm gonna use my action surge.
Okay, go ahead and use your action surge.
So I'm gonna go. I'm just lather, rinse, repeat.
All right.
So 20 to hit for 9 damage. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Let's hope I get better than a 1 on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
3.
There you go.
Oh, much better. It's triple as good.
That's right.
And I'll do the same thing. Here goes another axe there. Let's see.
And a 16 just barely hits. So you actually do another 9 points of slashing damage. Not bad.
That will end it for me.
All right, not a bad turn there, buddy. Jesus.
Better leave my friend alone, dang it.
I know, right? Jeez.
Does that spell on the ground here require concentration?
It is going to require concentration, I believe. Let me just double check here.
Oh, is that 4?
Verbal somatic. Let me double check in the chat window because it's not telling me specifically. Yes, it does. So it looks like that's 4 attacks, so 4 Constitution saving throws. So we got a 13, which I believe none of your... So all these have to be reaching 10, so we'll just do that one right after the other, right after the other. 21. 15. And 11. So concentration is kept up on that entangling vine spell. Not bad, just a solid like 41 damage in one turn.
Alright.
So
All right. So. All right. Ending your turn brings us to Shirley.
alrighty, then I am gonna do much the same.
Okay.
Let's see. And I don't know. Can I get out of here? That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30. Okay, that is a space. Okay, cool. And oh, I can only do one or the other.
Do the other.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm going to. Well, what is their wand made of?
Her wand appears to be made out of this kind of gnarled green-looking wood, and you can actually almost see. Now you're actually in her face, and you can see this too, Maury. There's actually these kind of like underneath this mask. It appears that her form is. It's still humanoid, but it's very much similar to Maury's, where she's almost got kind of a longer-looking face. But also underneath, you can actually see these like little green worms kind of crawling underneath her cloak, and you can actually see some of them growing out of the wand that she kind of wields.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stab her, because that seems like a real good idea, especially since she's got worm face going on.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and stab at her.
We're gonna go.
A 20 definitely hits. It looks like another 10 damage to her.
Yeah. And then, I forget how. Maury, are you looking okay? Are you?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, then I'll hang on to that. And that's gonna be it for me.
All right, and all of these attacks, she's kind of like taking them. It looks like she's actually taking them all. And that spear, she's looking pretty hurt right now, actually, just given the kind of quick onslaught from Maury and you, Shirley, at the same time. That's going to bring us to Timmick. So Timmick, before you go, I'm going to make a concentration saving throw for her. And she actually fails. So, in fact, Entangle is now gone. So we will take that off the board. And you are no longer grappled.
Okay. Can I tell if I get up to here if Henry is unconscious or just outright dead?
Go ahead and give me a medicine check. Just given the fact that it's going to be really fast.
Yeah.
With a 16, you actually can tell that he is breathing. He is just currently just unconscious there on the table.
All right, so I'm going to cast Healing Word on him.
Okay, go ahead and cast your Healing Word.
Didn't roll.
Click on the chat, the healing. And then you should be able to click on him. There you go. 6. He's feeling pretty good now.
Okay.
Done, my friend.
And as he kind of lays there, you can actually see his form kind of like he begins to kind of shake it off and wake up.
And since that's a bonus action, I can hit her with my staff, correct?
Yes, you can. Ooh, that is a crit. So that's a natural 20 for a total of 22, and it looks like 5 points of damage there on the crit. Nice job.
Nice.
And then with that kind of hit, you just see it, you come in with your club and just like, no. We can't put this all to waste. And that's actually going to bring her to her turn. On her turn, you actually kind of see some of the wounds on her begin to kind of close up and kind of heal up on herself. And she kind of looks a little bit healthier than she did prior to her acting on her turn. On her turn, you actually see her kind of drop the wand and then just start almost like, it's kind of weird. You see this like kind of green fury come out of her eyes, and then you actually see these worms start to sprout from underneath their cloak, and she kind of like animalistically just starts clawing at you, Shirley. So first attack coming in at you is going to be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hit.
All right, and that's going to deal 9 slashing damage and 5 necrotic damage as she comes in. You almost feel like some sort of strange kind of like poisonous necrotic energy kind of comes out from her. It's whatever dragon-born woman or whatever this happened to be. There's something wrong with her. She then goes ahead and goes to claw at you, Maury.
So have we been in this cave more than 10 minutes?
Not really. You guys are kind of just like boom, 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 boom.
So she's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. She has disadvantage.
Oh. She technically is an undead. So on this one, on you, Maury, is a 16 to hit.
That will... Yep, just hit.
Just hit? Okay. That's going to deal 6 slashing damage and 5 necrotic damage as she comes in and claws out at you as well. And you kind of feel this same necrotic energy kind of seep into your skin. And then after all of this, she then kind of... You can kind of see some of the worms that are kind of around her.
Use my Vengeful Assault.
Okay.
Since I have literally forgotten that every other time you've hit me with anything.
Okay.
It's a learning curve.
All right. So that will miss.
Yes, that will miss with a 13, yeah. And you can actually see, she's not wearing any armor, but you can actually see, like, as she kind of, like, turns her neck, you can kind of see, like, the sprout of what looks like to be some sort of, like, strange bark that kind of crawls out the side of her neck. That and kind of absorbs the blow as she kind of is continuing to just claw out at you, all of you. And then, let's see here. After which she kind of like stares at you and kind of, you almost see the worms kind of almost stand at attention for 1 second as 2 of them actually come out and actually land on you, or attempt to land on you, Maury. Can you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
I can't.
14. You're able to kind of, as she kind of comes in, as these worms kind of come in, you see them coming, and it's very frightening, and they kind of just kind of all come at you very fast towards your face, and you're able to kind of avoid them, and they land harmlessly behind you in this area right here. Luckily not landing on Henry. But that is going to actually end her turn. And on that note, Juliet, you actually at this point have been able to kind of dislodge your foot, and you have actually now entered into this, and you actually see this all unfolding in front of you. Your comrades all battling for their lives against this strange, wormed, dragonborn, spellcasting individual. What would you like to do?
I'd like to summon my sword, and I'd like to hit her.
Okay, sure. How do you want to hit her?
I'm going to try just stabbing her in her midsection.
Okay. Go ahead. Well, you got to walk up there first, so let's see if you can make it there. Oh, not that.
Midday.
Let's see. Yep, you have the ability to do that. You have 25 feet of movement, so I can move you over there.
Cool.
Bang.
So I'm just going to just see my fellow adventurers, and I'm just going to run up to them, run up to her, and let's see. Hopefully it hits.
Oh, woo! Natural 20. All right, so that looks like it's going to be 12 points of damage. Oof, that is a huge hit. As you kind of take her down another peg, and she's looking really hurt now. She looks like she's kind of struggling. The worms are kind of almost like slawing off of her. As
Is it too late to hex? Is it too late to hexblade curse her? Because I forgot I could do that.
Last time. So yes, Hexblade's curse is on her.
Okay. Where is that at? Did you already do it?
All right, I put it on her, but what does it do?
Okay. It's supposed to give extra damage.
Okay. How much extra damage?
I'm not.
Okay.
What?
How
I
much?
think it's your charisma modifier.
Charisma modifier? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an extra 3 points of Hexblade's curse damage.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on your turn?
Nope. That's it.
All right. All right. Awesome. Good round. All right. Brings us to Maury. Maury, what are you going to do, Killing Machine?
I am going to come up here and flank.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say, listen here, we don't want to kill you. We will, though. We're here to find out what in the crap is happening to us. We're here for help. I don't want to be turning into no daggone wolf. So if you'll help us, we can figure something out. But if not, well, we'll just beat it out of you. And I am going to hold my maul for her to do something against me or one of my compadres. But
Okay.
that's it.
My sword hasn't ate yet.
All right. So you're holding your action. That brings us to Shirley.
I'll follow Morharan's lead, but I'm gonna just move up here,
Okay.
basically block her from Henry.
Okay. All right. Timmick, what are you doing?
I would like to spend my turn freeing him from whatever is binding him to the table and get him away from that altar.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity sleight of hand check, please.
Be a good roll. Oh, hold on one second.
Yep. Oh, you're good. There it is, coming in. 6. So you start getting he's kind of like almost he's not only tied down, but he's also chained at his ankles, and he actually like you begin to kind of, and he starts to try to help you a little bit, but unfortunately he's unable to kind of completely help you out at this time. Okay. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it.
Okay. Coming back to her turn, you actually see the wounds again start to heal back up again. Some of the worms actually start to crawl back up to her leg and kind of keep her form together. She kind of, hearing your words, Mori kind of turns to you. What? And she just kind of grunts. It's very strange. And you actually see her... you actually see her kind of turn to you and reach out to try to grab your throat, casting a spell at the same time. So while she does that, you can go ahead and use your turn to attack.
And that's at advantage.
Yep.
So yeah. And let's see. I'll add. There we go.
Ooh.
13 plus 21 points of damage. Oof. That is a big hit. But she's looking pretty...
I'm gonna go, man, you're meaner than a wet cat. And smack her right in the...
And you do that. You see your mace kind of whacks her in the face. Just, and you actually see the mask kind of flies off her face. And you can actually still see mostly a dragonborn kind of shaped body. But you see these worms just kind of crawling in and around, diving in and out of her skin as she kind of looks at you with these bright green eyes that just shine in front of your face. And then she is going to cast at 2nd level and inflict wounds. And these are at disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's only going to be an 11 to hit.
Oof, okay, misses.
Okay, but she goes to kind of grab out at you, and you're able to kind of avoid it. She's looking kind of desperate now, and in that desperation, she kind of just like darts around her, and you can see another couple of these worms just kind of flash out from her, heading towards you, Shirley. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Great.
Oh.
All right, with a 6, you actually see these worms just attach onto your skin, and they begin to kind of burrow and crawl across your forearm, and they kind of just continue to dig at your arm. But that is actually going to end her turn and end that situation, bringing us back to Juliet. Juliet, what are you doing?
I'm so glad that we get to fight you instead of talk to you.
Shirley, you were holding an action, right?
Yes, indeed.
You can go ahead and use it right now while she's also doing hers at the same time.
Oh, righty then.
I roll with advantage.
Yep.
Oh!
That is a natural 20 for a total of 17 points of damage. And then Shirley?
Yeah, I'm done with her. I'm just gonna take a swippy swipe at her ear again. Keep moving it.
And I'm aiming for her face, by the way.
Ugh.
Well, that is okay, Shirley, because between you and Juliet, how do you both want to do this?
I'm gonna look over to Shirley, and I'm just gonna like smile as I get my blade and I slash her across the face.
Okay.
Yeah, and then while she's distracted, I'm just gonna take the spear and just like ram it up like into her chest, like just like stick her there.
Yeah.
And you
Did
guys
it.
both do that. You both, in this kind of combination of the swift stab and the other stab, you guys both kind of pin her down and take her down, and she kind of falls there limp. The worms kind of all slawing off and kind of dying off and kind of like slowly losing their motion. Ending your turn, Maury. What would you like to do?
So she is out on the ground.
She is out on the ground.
Well, I kind of think we need her a bit. Well, I don't know if she was ever really alive, but I think we need to talk to her. Do we try to stabilize her? Do we try to tie her up first?
She's dead.
I mean, I think
Maury.
something we got to be able to do. If not, what else did we come in here for?
Well, there's plenty of, it looks like, evidence, and I'll point to the thing. If you would like for me to stabilize her, I will.
As you guys have this discussion, you can actually see the worms starting to come back to life and crawl and actually kind of come in together and form her form again, and she comes back from unconsciousness and begins to start to stand up again.
What?
Well, I'm gonna.
No.
So it looks like it solved that problem, and I'm gonna grapple her.
Okay.
Well,
Well, it is her turn right now, so there is that. So first thing she's gonna do, but you'll get your turn right after her, so no worries there. She is going to kind of reach out towards you, Shirley, once again. Actually, no, towards you, Juliet, as you're one of the people that kind of took her down, and she is also going to cast at a second level a spell that you just previously saw, an inflict wounds. Actually, no, she can't, because she can't cast at second level. So, actually, no, she can't cast at second level. She's going to cast it first. And luckily, she rolled a 7 to hit, so she kind of goes to reach out towards you, but you're able to kind of see it coming. You're able to avoid the attack, and then she again desperately kind of looks around. You see another bit of these worms just kind of flash out of her once again. Juliet, I need a dexterity saving throw from you now.
Saving throw. There we go.
Mm-hmm. You're able to kind of, now that this rhythm of this, like kind of the way she attacks has been kind of seen, you actually are ready for it, and you actually see the worms coming. You kind of dodge out of the way of them. But that brings us back to Maury, or to Juliet first. Actually, what would you like to do?
Stabbing her again.
Stab her again. Go ahead.
Like, don't you just... Can you just stay dead?
Unfortunately, a 13 does miss, so you kind of go and stab at her, but unfortunately, you're unable to make contact as she's kind of ready for it this time.
Was I flanking or no?
You were actually, so 24 does hit, doing 6 points of damage. You're right. So you actually do kind of stab at her, kind of taking another blow to kind of the side of her shoulder. She kind of, you can kind of see all these wounds are still there, but like they're always slowly kind of being closed up as she's kind of standing there in front of you, as like these worms continue to kind of crawl up around her and kind of almost cinch these wounds back together.
We can either kill you, or you can tell me how I can unwolfify my friends. 'Cause I got no problem shoving this thing in your throat.
And that brings us to Maury.
I'm gonna. Listen, I don't want to kill you. I just want an answer to this. I want to understand what's going on with me. I have no problem putting you back down. I did it before. I'll do it again. Please just talk to us and help us figure this out. And then I'll say, you do know those witches in the woods are looking for you. They want me to bring your head back to them. I don't want to, but the more I look at your ugly face, the more I think maybe they got a real good idea. And I'll hold my action to hit her if she takes any negative reaction towards anybody. Actually, so what I'll do is, I'll hold it until it's my turn. Yep.
Okay. Brings us to Tivik.
I don't think she is gonna negotiate anything. You just killed her and she came back to life, so...
Maybe she learned her lesson.
No. I'm gonna bonus action Shillelagh onto my staff, and then roll... Oh, I don't know what that's rolling. That's not what I want to roll.
Apparently that's your bonus damage. That's your damage if you hit.
Yeah. That was your damage, yeah, if you hit.
Ooh, natural 1. So you actually go in, you kind of swing at her, and she kind of just gets out of the way of your swing. But Shillelagh is up, and you are concentrating on it, so there is that. Brings us back to her. She kind of desperately kind of looks around. She actually begins to dart in this direction over to this chest that's over here on the wall.
Well, I'm gonna teach.
I'll hit her. I use my held action.
Okay. Ah, crap.
I will actually add this to my to hit, so it makes it a 21 to hit for 15 damage.
Shirley, what was your initiative previously?
I think a 5.
Okay, I don't know why it deleted itself from the tracker here.
Okay.
Same thing happened to Maury, but I'll fix it.
Okay.
So you go ahead and try to hit her with a...
It was 21 to hit for 15 damage.
21 to hit for 15 damage. As she kind of begins to kind of dart in this direction, you actually take her down one more time, and she falls as you kind of whack her as she kind of begins to run past you. And then, Shirley, what did you say you were doing?
So I was gonna take a swipe at her too with her leaving, but since she didn't leave, she's down now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stick my spear in her and cast heat metal on it.
Okay, so you stick your spear into her body, you cast heat metal, and as you do so, you all can see this as he's doing it. As the heat begins to kind of radiate out from the spear, you actually can see a lot of the worms begin to kind of burn and die off and fizzle and kind of pustule and blister down on the ground, dealing 12 points of fire damage. And with that, you see her body doesn't appear to be moving. It appears that, and you kind of see her struggle for a second, and then she eventually comes to rest, and the worms all stop at this point. And she is no longer moving.
I'd like to search her body for a key to that chest she's going to, unless the chest looks like it's not locked.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. Shirley?
Yes.
1 second. Oh, hold on. I gotta put her back on the... Oh, something's happening here. Hold on. I gotta put her back on the map, I think, because it's not doing what I want it to do.
I would like to just shove my sword in her just to make sure she's dead.
Okay. You can easily do that. Shirley, you actually begin to feel those worms that kind of latched onto you begin to kind of burrow. You take 1 point of piercing damage as they begin to kind of burrow into your skin.
All right.
Now you're
Well,
gonna turn into a giant worm.
I was gonna say, I got enough in me right now. So, I'm going to mutter a little. I don't know. I can inspire myself, right? I don't know. Is that allowed?
You can inspire yourself.
You can't. I mean, you can't yet. There is an ability for that, but you're not quite there yet.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna mutter a curse instead of a little inspiration to myself, and dig it out with a dagger.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check
All right.
and add your proficiency bonus.
Let's see. I will just.
Yep, that's fine. So you're able to actually dig these things out. You do take 1 point of piercing damage as you begin to dig these kind of little worms out. And as you do, they kind of die out and kind of lay on the ground harmless with that 12 on your attack roll.
You guys okay?
Oh man, I don't know. She's nastier than a fat guy's thighs in summer.
Thanks for that image,
Oh,
Maury.
I think we'll be okay.
So your investigation on her body, you kind of search her body generally, and you don't actually find anything on her person other than the kind of like gnarled. And now you kind of look at the wand; it begins to kind of turn black and necrotic, and as you kind of go to pick it up, it kind of crumbles in your hands. It appears that the worms or whatever was infesting this alchemist were being kept alive by these worms, basically.
Can I check the like wherever she was running to? Can I go in that area and kind of to see what was she might have going to?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me. You know that, and Maury kind of picked up on it too. She actually was heading over towards that chest in the corner. All right. With a 7, you go over there. You go to check the chest, and with that 7, the chest does appear to be locked. So at this point, you don't have access to it. As you kind of look around the rest of the room, you guys actually can see there's a number of different bottles and vials, a number of different alchemical and other reagents and kind of different mixtures of different things. You see a number of different bottles and stuff like that. You also see what appears to be a book that's kind of opened on the table there as well.
Can I grab the book?
You absolutely can. And in fact, I am going to add it to your inventory right now.
well, I'm going to try to just smash the lock off and get into this.
Okay.
You read my mind, big guy.
So in your loot section of your inventory, you will see and find a journal of Hathira Inquis,
Ooh.
Juliet. So you go ahead. Okay, go ahead and give me a strength check to bust open the lock. Absolutely, you're able to kind of just you're able to break this chest open. Inside, you actually find a number of different things. You actually find a few bottles of what appear to be some sort of dark black liquid inside, as well as 200 gold pieces, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 potions of healing, and a very strange looking jug. In addition to, on the table, you actually can gather up what is the equivalent of 1 full set of Alchemist Supplies as you're going through it. So, Maury, I will add that to your inventory, and you can disperse it however you wish. So that was 200 gold pieces and these 2 strange bottles, which I will hold off until you guys can figure out what they do, and all of these potions of healing as well.
And would I be able to look and even begin to try and discern what they are, or similar to anything I've ever seen?
So you can detect magic, correct?
I can. Yes, indeed. I'll need a few minutes, but
I feel like we're out of danger for the time being. I have some training in matters of the arcane.
I'm gonna go in the corner and I'm just gonna read this book real quick.
I'll
Okay.
I'll sit down and just do a quick detect magic.
Okay. You go ahead and detect magic. You detect a couple things. So on the jug, you actually detect what is conjuration magic. A very strong sense of conjuration magic coming from it. And then from the two bottles, it's some sort of strange alchemical mixture. It's very hard to discern what it actually is. But go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
I'll inspire him by kind of like telling him like, okay, if it has this in it, it's, probably this. If it has, this kind of root or looks like, this kind of particle, then it might be this.
Okay.
You can add a d6 to your roll.
Yep. Okay. So with a 9, you actually, it's hard to really discern. You're not exactly, I mean, you kind of know of some potions, but whatever this is, it's kind of escaping your grasp of what this thing actually is. So, Juliet, you begin to read the journal. And you can actually, if you would like, you can read it to the class.
I'm really bad in real life. Ashley is really bad at reading stuff out loud. So
Okay. All right. So the journal reads, after continued research into the reaction of the lycanthropy curse with these individuals, I'm finding difficulty in concocting the exact mixture of components that will allow static control of the shape change for our purposes. I feel I'm close to the breakthrough. However, unfortunately, one of my subjects did escape and cause some havoc amongst some of these locals. Such is the price for success. Luckily, my minions were able to subdue a new host to experiment on. Strong of will and muscle, augmenting him with lycanthropy should create a laborer capable of replacing a whole unit. The question is if this new mixture will stabilize this curse. I've sent word to Sapiros that we are close to a breakthrough. Between the byproduct of the spider's poison, the mushrooms local to this cave, and plus the silverleaf root, we have been able to find the ingredients we need. We just need to find the right ratios. I've created some antidote for retrials. Unfortunately, secondary infection seems to consume the subject's venous system. It appears once the curse is cured through medicinal means, the mark from the curse still remains. Proper removal via magical means is probably the only solution to this problem, but is outside of my capabilities currently. I may send word to Osmeros. Yeah, I may send word to Osmeros on this if I'm able to procure most subjects.
And just assume that I said that.
So the names in there were Superios and Oz.
Sapiros and Osmeros. So hold on, let me pull it back up again. Sapiros is spelled Sapieiros, and then Osmeros is spelled Ozmeros.
Do we have those ingredients right here, right now?
Well, I'm wondering if we also have one of those antidotes that she was talking about.
Yeah. But if we don't have one of them, and this is just like more of the potion itself.
I mean, there's only one way we can figure this out.
How strong do those chains look?
As far as the chains are concerned, I mean, they look like standard kind of chain. They're not like anything like, they're not like super like they're not like, big links like this. They're like, normal size like kind of chains that you'd hold, just like someone who you're just trying to restrain that is of normal strength or maybe a little bit stronger, but nothing like too crazy.
I just realized something. We forgot about Henry and Jordan.
I've been standing by Henry this whole time. You guys have just been doing your stuff.
Yeah.
I just realized that, and I look back, and I'm like, oh, okay, Timmy got it.
Nope.
Okay. Where's Jordan at?
Jordan is where you left him, at the entrance of the cave. Or at least that's what you hope.
That's what Shirley's going to turn to Juliet and be like, how did you get in here?
See, it's a funny story. Jordan was talking a lot, and I wanted to see what happened to you guys because you guys have been here for a while, and I heard all the commotion, and the sword just didn't want to be, out of the action. So we came, and I found some mushrooms. I seen all the dead frogs. Those were really weird. And then I came into this one area with these weird door things. I don't know how to describe them. I've never seen that before in my life. And then this door was getting ready to shut. So I did a twirl and I went underneath the thing and my leg got caught. It was my ankle. Actually, it took me a little while. And then, so he's out there, I think.
Okay. No, I just curiosity. We can open the door again. There's a button.
Oh, thank goodness.
But yeah, I guess I would go collect Jordan before doing anything else. Just be like, don't drink the potion until I get back, and then I'll go get Jordan and bring him back to us.
Yep, and you are able
While
to kind of
we're doing all this, I want to get Henry out of the chains.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another dexterity sleight of hand check to kind of try to figure out the mechanism that's kind of keeping these together. 12. You are actually able to, it's not a very ornate looking lock, and you're able to kind of, with some of the equipment in your pack, you're able to kind of dislodge them and open them up. And Henry also helped him do a little bit too, and he just... Well, thank you. Who the heck are you?
Your wife sent us to find you. You've been searching everywhere.
Good old Harriet. Well, I appreciate what you've done for me, but he already kind of injected me with some sort of thing. I'm not really sure exactly what it was, but
You'll probably be turning into a werewolf soon.
At bedside manner, Timmick.
We actually had to put down a few of your lumberjack colleagues because they attacked us as werewolves. We there was Scott, Hogar, Gerald.
Fucking Gerald.
Yeah, I didn't like Gerald either.
Oh.
Did it look like this?
Yep. That's Is it what are you holding up exactly?
The black.
Oh,
goopy.
the charred one.
No, I'm gonna ask if what they injected him with was that dark black liquid.
Oh, no, not that. Something else. It's over on the table over there, and he kind of gestures, and you can kind of see what appears to be some sort of almost archaic-looking syringe to an extent. That looks like it could be injected into the bloodstream directly, and you can kind of see that it's filled with some sort of silver-looking liquid inside of it.
I looked at Shirley and be like, well, that's a good sign.
Okay. Yeah. So carefully collect that. So do we want to try one of these?
Timmick, it's at this point you actually start to feel some sort of itchy sensation on your forearm, from where you remember one of the werewolves latching onto your arm the day prior, and it's kind of irritating. It's starting to get a little bit pussy too.
Unless one of you guys want to be the the guinea pig.
Oh, just give me it.
And I'll hand one of them to Timmick.
Okay.
Now I'll take a sip out of it.
Okay. You take a sip out of it, and you kind of feel it's kind of it's a very bitter kind of off-putting taste. And as it goes down, you kind of like are kind of rear back from it, but as you do, you kind of feel almost like you see some of the tingling on your forearm begins to start going away. It's still there, but it starts to feel a little bit better.
If you die, can I have Dale?
No, my last breath will be taking him with me.
Oh, sorry. That was not in character.
You hear, "Fuck you."
Well,
How do you feel?
A little less itchy, but
think you have to take the whole thing?
I
Usually,
mean,
Do we have more of these?
You guys have found 2 total.
I haven't noticed too much effect yet, so I feel like if these do what we think they do, then Morharon should definitely take the second one.
I'm gonna give him the bottle. Drink it.
Okay.
Well,
Because
Here's
this
the
is going
problem.
to... What?
we have the recipe. We have the tools to make it. But if I drink this last one, we ain't got nothing to compare it to. Even if we find an expert, somebody who knows how to make this junk, we're just gonna be guessing.
We can take it to the witches.
Do we really want to talk to the witches?
they're our allies. They allowed us passage, pointed us in the right direction.
I mean, I'm sure I don't necessarily want to get a cure from them, but they did ask for that nasty thing's head, and well, we might be able to get something out of them for it. I think we got our answer on the cure. We just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
But if we need a favor, we did do them one.
This is true.
It's worth a shot.
You want me to? Did Shirley finish that bottle that I took a sip out of?
From my knowledge so far, only you've taken a sip out of
Oh.
any of them.
We
and
still
you're
have a full bottle,
you still
Yeah,
have
more on
two. You have the equivalent of
full
2 full bottles, yeah.
so I might as well finish this bottle off then to see if it works.
Drink it.
All right, I'll knock it back.
Would I know if anybody back in town would have any alchemical knowledge at all?
No, because remember we asked around about, alchemists and that kind of thing, and nobody in town knew or had heard of.
I thought we were asking specifically for this guy, the alchemist. We did ask about alchemy as a whole. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
fairly
had.
certain. I feel like we asked about kind of backdoored it. We wanted to make sure we weren't giving away that we were looking for this one specific person.
Also, Shirley, go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay. Here, just on my notes.
I'm gonna sit down and start taking a short rest.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So with that history check, you do actually recall at one point after talking with Roburn, you do remember that there was some individuals possibly in Deer Meadow that might have a better knowledge of sort of like medicinal, alchemical kind of studies and stuff like that, but there was nobody in Timberwood at the time when you had inquired to him in previous days.
Where do I find short rest at?
It's on your character sheet. Yep.
There it is. There it is.
So do I notice anything happening drinking the rest of that bottle?
Drinking the rest of the bottle, you actually do feel the effects of this, whatever it is, begin to kind of subside and fade away. You actually almost see like the wound that where where the werewolf had bitten him before almost kind of spontaneously began to start closing up over the next half hour, and the different, like the pus and the other things that are coming out of it also seem to slaw off, and you feel fairly confident at the very least that you've been able to kind of cure yourself of this at the time being with this particular potion. And with that, I will actually give whoever else wants the other bottle of this stuff, I will add it to your inventory.
Yeah, let's let Moron hold on to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And Morhan, if you check your inventory, you have basically everything else, including after you guys have been searching around, you guys are able to also find 3 daggers on the bodies that you kind of see in the corner. There's actually a pile of what looks to be 3 other subjects and a mixture of other kind of bones and stuff like that, and you're able to kind of find those as well.
I'll take the daggers.
Okay. You also have you did also find 200 gold pieces. Depending on, you guys can figure that out later how you want to disperse it, but you have it.
I'll disperse it 50 to everybody.
Okay. So everybody can
I
have
would
50.
just like to take whatever kind of like ingredients I can for the spell that I find, and it's like to put it in my satchel.
Okay, you're able to do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the same. Just take a short rest and sing my song of rest.
Okay.
What's that, a D6?
Yep.
I will also give everybody a healing potion.
Oh, all right. Grab one too.
Okay.
If you play those bagpipes one more time.
I promise not to play them until we're out of the cave.
Let's just say not that you never play the bagpipes in my presence ever again. Because I will Eldritch Blast them.
He needs practice.
Fair. And I'll shake hands. Or at least extend my hand.
To you, to who?
To Juliet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she takes it. Never. Just not in my presence. Anyone else's is fine. You can torture them. I don't want to be tortured.
What if there are other people around your presence while he plays them? Like, what if I want to hear them, but you happen to be around?
Then I'm just going to walk really far away. And if something attacks you, that's on you.
Collateral damage.
So Shirley and Juliet, I updated your gold for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, what's the plan? We want to go back and see those witches. See if what would we want from them? We can definitely bring back the head of this person.
I also wouldn't mind going home. Henry kind of pipes.
Don't worry,
up.
Henry. We'll be going home.
Calm down, Henry. We saved your life.
You're alive and you're well.
I don't know about well. I mean, I do have kind of a hole poking in me right now, but.
Well, that's why we're gonna try to figure this out.
I'll use my last spell slot here on him when he says I have a hole in me. I'm just gonna toss him a little where is it at?
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm feeling pretty good, but I think that thing injected me with something.
There you go. He had 7 hit points. But yeah, well, I guess so. We have 2 options here. We can either get the witches to cure us as our favor. I guess technically 3. Get them to cure us. Have them help us make the potions and cure ourselves, or save the favor for another time and go to Deer Meadow looking for a cure.
Yeah, can I say that would I be confident enough to say that maybe I can try to make it?
Are you proficient in alchemy supplies or alchemy tools?
I am not, so I wouldn't be.
Probably not.
Okay.
What are you? Are you proficient in herbalists? Is that what it is?
I am.
I
Oh,
am.
okay.
Let's see what Outlander.
I think there's actually a fourth option. You know, there are three of those nice-looking ladies in the woods there, and there's three of us strapping young men. Why don't we take them to the local Red Lobster and have a date?
I do
Why
like
not?
cheddar biscuits.
I could absolutely wingman all three of you.
That is a distant fourth option.
If
I
we,
thought maybe Juliet and Jordan could hit it off.
I wonder if I
Cut
take
you.
some of this paper I have, and if we kind of jot down that recipe, I wonder if they'd be interested in taking it for themselves if they help us to make some of this. They
The
can
only way
help
we're
us make 2 more doses, and well, they can keep the recipe if they want.
Well, we need more doses. Henry was just injected with it.
Well, yeah, that's what we've got one, and then make 2, one for Shirley, one for Jordan. Henry, and
And there may still be wild ones out there.
we'll just kill those. I don't really feel obligated for anybody else.
True.
Well, they'll turn other people into them.
And we killed them too.
I mean, that math seems to work out.
All right. It's a lot of killing.
Well, if we help them make it, maybe we can use these supplies we have to kind of do it ourselves too. We'll have the recipe still.
I feel like that's a good plan. I don't particularly enjoy the thought of sending more people to witches, but so far they have done nothing to wrong us, and I think in turn we should not wrong them.
Maybe this will help the witches get back in the town's good graces. I don't know what their actual story is being out in the woods here, but they're probably cast out from society for some reason. Probably because they're witches. But if they start helping people by making these potions, they could be normal people again.
That's a good point.
Point of order. Can I roll an Arcana to see if I know a little more about witches? Eggs, if you will.
If you will. Arcana's tough, kind of pushing it. I don't think that's really what it should be.
Okay.
I'll say,
History?
yeah, give me a history check.
I'm trained in that too.
Mm-hmm. Your general knowledge of hags, with a 21 on the die, there's a lot of stories about them. There's a lot of stories of witches taking and kidnapping small children in the night. There's stories about them kind of capturing animals and stuff like that, and kind of alternating them and creating kind of these weird monstrosities. There's also other stories of them creating deals with individuals which might seem good on paper, but usually and generally don't always pan out 100% the way the recipient wanted them to. They're very much known as trickster type fey creatures who will find a way to serve themselves, no matter what the deal you might strike between them.
Okay.
Do you know anything about them, Shirley?
Yes. So while there are instances of them being directly, I don't think aggressive is the proper word, but taking what they want or need for their kind of otherworldly games, as it may be, They tend to prefer tricking people into bad bargains. That's why I'm don't really want to give them the power to trick anyone else, especially if we give them the knowledge of how to make these potions. All they're doing is gaining, and they can trick other people into a bargain for something they already have. But again, they have not wronged us, and I find it unwise to kind of stir that pot. Unintended.
I do believe that they're probably our best option in making a potion.
Yeah.
Should we give it? I think we should give it a shot. I'm not one for playing with witches, but if it means that we can get you guys feeling better and get poor Maury over here not to run around naked in the middle of the woods.
You liked it.
I mean, I'm not going to deny it was quite nice, but still.
I think for the town's sake and for Henry's sake, it's our best option.
All right, I'll go over. I just walk over and get out my hand axe and start chopping her head off.
All right.
Doesn't take much. You kind of in one swift just kind of, it's almost like a slawing kind of sound, like as you kind of like chop into it. It appears that she also, like, these worms are almost kind of keeping her form intact, it seems.
All right, well, here's what they asked for.
I'm gonna grab the mask.
Okay. It's a simple kind of like almost like white porcelain that's it's accommodated for an individual with kind of like a larger kind of snout kind of style nose, like a dragonborn basically. But it's a kind of a simple white porcelain mask with like little gold detailing that kind of travels around the edge line, with like just different little like kind of gold filigree that kind of wanders around the face.
On the way out, I'd like to try to get some more mushrooms if I could.
And
Okay.
if possible, I would like to try and collect a couple more grung poison gland.
Okay.
Can I like put my arrows and like do like have poison arrows?
Maybe. So point of order. To harvest mushrooms, give me a nature check for the grung glands. Also give me a nature check, Maury.
Nature, you say?
Yep.
There you go.
So you're still unable to kind of discern what these mushrooms do. You can collect a couple more of them, so you now have 2 more mushrooms there, Juliet. But like I said, unfortunately, like you're still unable to kind of gather the nature of what these things are. And not only that, like you think maybe putting some of this mushroom dust might do something. You're not 100% sure. More, you're able to actually harvest another couple of glands out of these grung individuals in the room adjacent to the spider cave that was next to this room that you're in now. As you guys continue to kind of head your way out of the cave, you see Jordan kind of in the main entrance.
Can I ask a question before we leave those
absolutely.
mushrooms?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it doesn't explicitly say in the Circle of Spores reading, but would I have any knowledge with mushrooms or fungus?
You absolutely would. I would allow you to make a nature check at advantage for that.
Ooh.
Because it is kind of your thing. There you go.
Hey.
There it is. You actually can identify these. So these definitely are a poisonous mushroom. Of the they're a poisonous mushroom, also known as the it's kind of a complicated name, but it's the myconiid sprout basically. It's named for the fact that generally speaking, myconiids typically grow from these different types of mushrooms and actually develop into more of them. So the fact that this particular entranceway is riddled with them, you gather that probably a lot of these things are being sprouted, but they do have if put on a weapon or something like that, or included in some sort of alchemical or herbalism type concoction, you would be able to kind of turn them into some sort of functional poison for yourself as well. But you also do know that the fact that there's a ton of these things in this cave. Yeah, there's a lot of sprouts that have been planted.
We'll have to mark this so that we know, either in case it becomes an issue later on, or just if we need more mushrooms.
Timmick, is it a problem to like step on these things or brush against them, or do you have to, eat them or have them kind of poke into your skin to be an issue?
I think they have to just poke into you. I'm sure eating is also an issue, but I don't think just stepping on them. You have a boot on, I'm assuming.
I'm just we never really went down this hallway. I just wonder if we walk down just a few steps and take a peek.
Would I know if they release spores once they're stepped on?
You do know, based on that natural 20, that you do know that spores would be released as a defense mechanism to kind of protect the rest of the herd of these kind of developing sprouts.
Never mind. Boots won't help.
All right. Well, I won't.
Second thought.
I won't head down that way then. I think I've got enough to deal with currently. Maybe some other day I'll be dumb enough to give it a shot.
You can get dumber than today?
I think so. All right. Well, I guess I can't get much dumber. I'm about to go try and haggle with 3 witches. So
We're off to see the witches.
Worst comes to worst, plan 4. We take them on a date.
There you go.
I think you guys would match very well. They were quite ravishing.
I agree.
All right.
All right. And as you guys continue to kind of make your way out, you do find, again, Jordan is actually sitting at the kind of entranceway and like kind of greets you as you all walk in and start inspecting these mushrooms and stuff like that. And with that, you guys are able to kind of head back out into the forest. Are you guys heading to town first, or you guys head to the witches first?
well,
I think
can Jordan take Henry back to town? I mean, do we?
I don't trust that.
Henry needs the potion too.
Yeah, Henry's staying with us.
Yeah, if he turns, what's to stop him from, turning 6 other people?
I'll protect Henry.
Should I try to bite Jordan? And then I just kind of look at him really quick. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna bite you. Yeah.
Don't be surprised. He eats people.
You're dead.
Yeah, I watched him.
You discussed it, Jordan. It's okay. Only bad people.
You kind of see him pee himself a little bit.
I don't like the taste of urine, so that's actually a pretty good bet for you. I just took Jordan off the menu.
Okay. And with that, we're actually going to go to break. So, good job, guys. So today, before we go to break, there is a dice giveaway, as there is every week. So make sure that you follow and also type in the following code word into the chat to make sure you're eligible to win. This week's code word is Alchemist. So write down Alchemist into that chat, and we will figure out who is going to win these awesome dice. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you guys all back from break. So looking into the chat, we actually only had a couple folks actually put in the keyword tonight, so we're actually going to save the dice giveaway to the end. So you guys get another chance to win, which is kind of cool. So again, that secret code word is going to be Alchemist. So make sure you put Alchemist down there in the chat for your chance to win, and we will have the dice giveaway at the end of the session for you all. So just keep that in mind. And I'll actually update the stream at end of stream. Also, make sure you guys check out the Discord, of course, and all that fun, awesome stuff. But like I said, we will be doing that dice giveaway at the end of the stream, so go and check that out. So let's get the ambiance kind of going here. So, and let us dive back in. So, as you guys continue on, you now with Jordan and Henry in tow, begin to meander your way back to the same location that you guys had found before, with your favorite three sisters kind of hanging around a cauldron. As you guys kind of continue to get over there, you actually can beginning to hear the sounds of them kind of like, Agatha, get over here, and you can kind of hear a lot of them kind of continuing to kind of like have little different arguments and stuff like that, as you guys begin to kind of approach them from where you are. Are you guys making yourselves known, or are you guys sneaking up on them?
Yeah, no, I think
Making
at this
ourselves?
point we're just gonna.
Ladies, we come bearing gifts.
You actually see one of them turn around, Mabel, the one that you recognized before. She kind of turns around and goes, "Oh, what have you brought for us?"
Here's the head you asked for.
Very nice, very, very nice. Let me see that, lad. And she kind of like reaches out to kind of grab it from you.
There you are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, Agatha, we should be able to harvest these things from this thing for sure. And she gets kind of like almost like scrape off some of the worms that are kind of like on it, and kind of like begins to peel some of the different kind of just some of the skin and some other things. Ah. All right. Well, we can give you what you ask if you'd like, but it appears there are more of you with this issue.
Henry back here. He got injected with the shit too.
There's actually should be about the same amount. We're minus 1 plus 1.
One of you has been partially cured.
The little guy over here.
Yeah.
Me. Me.
Oh yeah, it's you. I know. Don't worry about that. You don't need to. Don't shout. Well, I guess you still need the 3, I suppose.
Well,
Oh, and hello, Jordan. Hey.
we have some new thoughts on things. You see, we ran into something that altered our situation a bit, and wanted to give you a counter offer to what you had previously requested.
Interesting.
You
Go on
see,
then.
As you can see, we found something to cure ourselves, and well, we have what we need to possibly do it again. But we felt that you had done us right. You pointed us in the right direction, and we felt maybe we should help point you in the right direction. I understand that the people in the town and all the surrounding areas kind of have an issue with you and the things you do. Not me personally, of course, but we thought if you were able to present them with something that would help them out, maybe it would put you in some good graces. Is that right, Shirley?
Something along those lines. Yes. Since things could have gone differently, were the situations reversed. We appreciate your guidance in our quest and would like to provide you with a gift.
Hear that, sisters? They want to give us even more. What do you have?
I'm gonna whisper to Shirley. Are we going with Plan 4?
Not yet.
I just to start off easing you into it that we mean business, I did actually get something I thought you might enjoy, and I will get out 3 of the grung sacks that I collected. And this is just a little appetizer, ladies, for what we really have, but just wanted to show you we mean business here and getting our job accomplished. So these are yours.
You see Mabel kind of reach out her kind of long, gnarled hand towards the... How many are you presenting? 3 of them?
3 of them, yeah. It just leaves me with just 1.
Okay. You see her kind of reach her gnarled hand, and she kind of grasps on them. As she begins to kind of grasp onto them, you can kind of feel like almost the feeling of like cold dampness kind of like radiate off of her hands as she gets kind of close to your hand as she plucks them away from you. These will work nicely. Yes. Is that all?
So, the alchemist seems to have, I'm not sure the correct verbiage or what have you, as I'm not an alchemist or an herbalist myself, but seems to have concocted a cure to the lycanthropy. But there was not enough to go around. So those of us who are trained thought we might work together to make more.
Or we could go to Dare Meadow.
Again, this would more than likely ingratiate you with the villagers if we were to tell them that you helped solve their problem.
Well, there's one problem in that idea, is the fact that we don't really care to ingratiate ourselves with those people.
Well, do you care to make money?
I care to make deals.
Well, I tell you what, if you had a cure for something somebody needed, they would probably be willing to pay something pretty nice for it.
You're absolutely right. So what are you proposing?
Well, as my friend so elegantly said, you help us make this potion, and we ensure that it works, and then the recipe is yours. You can make as much of it as needed, deal it out as you see fit. All we ask in return is you give us an additional 3 doses.
That's our deal.
Leah just smiles.
Just go with Plan 4.
We have the supplies we need to make the 3 here, and we know where you can find as much as you need to make as much as you want in the future.
She kind of just stares at you, Maury, kind of almost looking through your eyes and into your soul almost. Give me a persuasion check. At advantage, because surely you've helped out this situation as well.
Ooh. Oh boy.
That's beautiful.
With a natural 20 with no modifier. We can do this. Of course. You're not wrong. Being able to hang this over others is something that would be putting us in a very good situation. Now, that recipe. Let's do this.
All right.
I'll hand her the book.
The book?
Or the part of the recipe part of the book.
Yeah, okay. And she kind of takes it, and again, you kind of feel this like cold, damp aura kind of reach out and snatch the page out of your hand.
Should I inspire her?
You can.
I mean, like she's the one that's good at potions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Play the bagpipes.
Roberto stinks.
All right. Where are they? I'm gonna kind of like look at Juliet as like I reach for the bagpipes.
I summon the sword. Don't even think about it.
Who are we working with, Agatha or Mabel?
Whoa! Wait, why did I click it so many times?
You're with Mabel.
Mabel.
Mabel, yeah.
I just like go
Just
to
a woman.
All those 20s.
So with the 21, she kind of, not bad, Mr. Wentz, not bad.
I think she's going for plan 4.
And she takes it over to the cauldron and grabs the different supplies that she needs, and she begins to kind of conjure up and begins to kind of mix together with what's already in the cauldron. Oddly enough, it appears that whatever is in this kind of gives it its kind of properties that they were able to kind of brew with it. And with the help of Agatha and coaxing from Roberta, you see her kind of wave her hands around the cauldron as she kind of mutters a few incantations as she goes through this, mixes a couple extra things in it, and then grasps what appears to be almost an empty wineskin almost, and just she looks at you, Timmick, for a second, and there's one. And she begins to do the same thing with the other two doses, and she hands over to you 3 doses of this lycanthropy antidote.
And this is that exact recipe.
We can follow instructions, lad. It's not that difficult.
Do I believe her?
Insight check.
Why did she look at me?
Insight check.
20.
Yep. Timmick, you think that she's looked at you because in as she kind of was sniffing the bottle and sniffed over to you, you gather that she might have been trying to match the different almost magical scents that were kind of radiating off of you and this concoction to determine whether or not it's a perfect match.
But she didn't catch wind of what Plan 4 was and was scoping me out.
She might know. She just may not. She just may not be interested in the old dwarf man with the really long beard and a bird inside of his resting inside of his beard.
Yet.
Yet. With a 20, Maury. You gather that she. You gather that she speaks what she means. She followed the recipe to the letter.
Look around at the party members.
So
How you
Maury,
guys feel?
Maury drinks. Henry goes ahead and shit. All right. Throws it down.
Wait 1 second, Shirley. Let's just wait 1 second.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of a Taco Bell? I want to make sure we don't have one of those situations here. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
There's no Taco Bell in the Underdark. Is that something that's here on the surface?
It is.
Definitely spawn of the Underdark.
It's actually something that's more. It's a chain kind of restaurant that exists more on in Facoris, actually on a different continent, but it exists.
It's typically only used during a long rest.
Or as what is more commonly known as hangover food.
It sounds like it gives a really, really bad tummy ache.
Oh, it definitely does. It'll clean you right out.
You can't, depending on your constitution.
So, how do I feel?
You don't notice much of a change. Although, during your normal day-to-day, prior to and after your transformation, during normal basic kind of day-to-day functions, nothing really you don't feel different in general anyway. It's just that for whatever reason at that particular night you transformed.
Well, Shirley, I guess go ahead and try it and see if your arms start stitching. I feel all right, but I kind of always feel all right until I'm naked in the woods.
What's the matter, lad?
I'll drink the potion.
Okay. You go ahead and down it. You do feel almost kind of a warming sensation over the area of the wound that you had. And you feel the pain and the singeing that you had the day prior begin to subside.
Yeah, it certainly feels better, and I'll kind of look at my arm where it was like kind of clawed up or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the heat inside me that I did, so I think it's worked.
Yep.
You feel okay, Shirley?
I do.
Timmick, how do you feel?
Amazing.
Maury?
I actually didn't notice much of a difference, but
Henry?
Hole's gone.
I'd like to walk up to Mabel, it is?
Mabel, yep.
Mabel. I'd just like to walk up close to her and where the other guys can't hear me. My dwarf friend is really into you.
I know, but I'm not really into him.
Is that the one that's been helping us the whole time?
Yeah.
Is it the bird?
No, there's someone else.
Oh.
And she kind of just stares at you and
so are the other two guys. They're into the sisters. Just saying. They're lonely. I'm gonna walk back.
Good for them.
She seems really nice, guys. I think we can trust them.
Well, I believe at this point you have your recipe. We have our cure. I think we can call it all square. You agree?
Agree. If you never need the Beetle Waggle sisters again, you know where we'll be.
Let's go get Henry back to his wife, and I'd like to rest after a bottle of wine.
That sounds like a great idea.
I don't know if a bottle sounds great. That was the last time that happened. I woke up naked in the woods.
It wasn't the bottle of the wine.
I'm not saying the two are mutually exclusive, but that is what happened.
That's true, but I didn't wake up naked in the woods. I woke up with a hangover.
I'm gonna get some milk.
What is with you and milk, Timmick?
I mean,
Tastes natural.
that was probably the most natural tasting milk I've ever drank. Unfortunately, I was not expecting milk.
I don't want milk. I want the strongest wine they had. That stuff that made me go loopy. That
And
was
more.
great.
You want some fresh milk?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Sure.
All right, I'm going to wild shape into a dairy cow.
I'm not touching his udders.
I'm just gonna
Ooh.
keep.
You begin
Yes.
to wild shape into a dairy cow. And it's something different. You see as he begins to kind of go ahead and kind of get ready to wild shape into a dairy cow, you see his shape shift and change into that of a humanoid looking wolf creature standing up on hind legs. But you are within your own control and within your own faculties. You're aware of everything that's going on, but you have wolf-like claws, and you are currently in the shape of a werewolf under your own control.
So I can wild shape into a werewolf?
Yes.
I jump back a little bit.
Did you mean to do that?
Can I talk in this form?
You can.
No. I was gonna turn into a dairy cow for you to suckle on my udder. You said you wanted fresh milk.
Well, I mean, currently you're not. I don't want to milk anything on you at this moment.
I don't want to ever milk anything on you at any moment.
What did you just do? Did you? What did you do?
You wanna
said
eat
in my head, I said turn into a dairy cow, and I turned into this monster.
I look at Shirley. I look back at him. I close my eyes and I think about turning into a dairy cow. And then I open my eyes.
You're still Maury.
You're still Maury.
I said, I'm like, you're still Maury.
I close my eyes again and I think about Timmick turning into a dairy cow.
We're walking away at this point, correct?
You are, Maury. Are you thinking about him turning into a dairy cow, or what he just turned into?
No, into a dairy cow.
Okay, you think about Timmick turning into a dairy cow, and nothing happens.
That's actually a pretty cool trick you did there, Timmick.
Want to eat people?
I still don't have that urge.
I mean, this is really cool, but my suggestion is you unthink the dairy cow by the time we get to town. It might cause a stir.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
All those uppity people in town will get all cattywampus about it.
They'll get something.
It's at this point that Henry and Jordan are just kind of like, can you just not do that right now?
Guys, just don't think about being a dairy cow.
Now they're both thinking about being dairy cows.
I didn't think about it before.
Think about being anything else but a dairy cow.
I'll
You
be
want me to
Henry.
switch back already?
Actually,
I want something. See how strong I am.
go find that owlbear again.
I slap Maury on the shoulder. We're not gonna hurt.
Right. Jesus.
Well, we're not gonna hurt the owlbear.
Fine.
You startled it when you were naked.
I have an idea. Moron, hit me as hard as you can. With that maul.
Okay. Do I believe he really wants me to hit him?
Yeah, I mean, you're not trying to deceive him, are you?
Nope.
All right.
Where's Dale at the moment?
Dale, ironically enough, has actually turned into a little black crow that's actually kind of perched on his right shoulder.
Just don't hit Dale.
Aim for my shoulder, please.
Jeez.
I don't know why this bird fly away.
So,
Ah! Fuck you! Ah!
I don't know what the AC is, so does that hit?
What'd you roll?
so I rolled a 12 and a 14. I mean, I assume if he's letting me hit him, it's at advantage. So it's a 14 to hit for 9 damage.
What's your AC?
I don't know, as a werewolf.
What's your normal AC?
14.
Okay. You go to hit him with your maul and nothing happened. You don't feel it.
Well, what did it do?
Invincible.
We have a
Invincible.
werewolf, Timmy.
I'm God.
I wouldn't go that far now, Timmy.
Did you feel it?
No.
I mean,
That's amazing.
Try again. It's gonna be harder this time. That's better.
That's better, yeah. So with that, you actually you make contact. Whack! You still feel it this time. You actually take some impact, and you do feel some of the damage, but not as much as you'd think. You can actually mark down that you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
oof.
But it's to your normal character sheet.
Okay.
Man, I wish I could turn into a werewolf again.
I'd rather you not.
Did you? I just hit him
So
as hard as I could. Literally, as hard as I hit him so hard he was going to see tomorrow today. And he just, oh, well, that hurt a little bit.
I watched it with my own eyes. All 120 feet of it.
So after
120 feet of eyes?
It's like
120.
have I been able to discern any information, AC or anything, by being hit?
You gain a +1 bonus to AC.
Okay.
You feel a little bit stronger. Unless it's already higher, your strength has become a 15 while in this form. And you have resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, non-magical weapon attacks.
All right.
And in this form, I'll give you more notes on it, but basically in this form, you're still able to wield weapons if you choose to, but you also will gain some special attacks and stuff like that. We'll talk about it offline.
Cool.
Spells in this form.
Like your normal, well, I say like your normal, like your usual cases with your wild shapes, you cannot cast them in this form, but you can cast them prior to and concentrate on them in this form.
Okay.
It'll play mechanically the same way as it would until you get the ability to cast in form.
Does it hurt, Timic?
Does what hurt?
This form, does it feel different than your other forms?
I can tell you it doesn't feel like a dairy cow.
I have no clue why, but you're incredibly attractive right now, and that seems really weird to say.
You seem to like it when I turn into Chihuahua too.
I mean, who wouldn't like someone turning into a Chihuahua? Those big eyes, the giant ears, it's the cutest thing ever.
I feel like your tastes are very canine-centric.
We don't have dogs down there, okay? I'm so tired of spiders.
I tell you what, this could be useful in a negotiation. We're trying to convince somebody to give us something. Hey, give it. No, I'm not going to do it. Boom, I'm a werewolf.
I mean, he does it with the dwarf form, so, you know, I'm a spider. I'm a dwarf.
Just do that in the opposite direction. I mean, look, it paid off really well for us to do it to Jordan.
It did.
This is impressive. I think, Maury, you're onto something. We can definitely use this to our advantage.
Try to bite me.
Stop that!
No, we've had enough for the day. Get back to town and lick our wounds.
He could literally lick his wounds.
It would be socially
They don't hurt that much.
And then go from there. Figure out what our next step is. We need to...
Can we just send Henry on his way, guys? Do we have to deliver him to his house?
Well,
Well, I assume he's going to pay us for helping him out. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah. Are you paying us? Because he can bite you again.
Roburn had asked us to do this, so I feel like we should return to Roburn and let him know the task is finished, see Henry and Jordan safely home, and go from there.
The quicker we do this, the quicker I get my bottle of wine.
Exactly.
All right.
I think for all of our trouble, though, Roburn should at least give us 2 or 3 free nights to stay. This one night for putting my life on the line, I'm getting kind of sick of that.
Also, he should not charge us for our drinks.
For said wine, I agree.
I think we can afford a couple of drinks if we should be charged. I will... Hey.
All right, then, Fancy Pants. It's on you, then.
Let us win. And I'll just start kind of motioning for Jordan and Henry to follow me. If the rest follow.
Okay. You guys are able to finally, eventually, after all of this, get back to town. As you kind of continue to kind of travel. The town's quiet, except for, it appears, there's some ruckus coming from the Full Bear's pub, as there always is. It sounds like a fun ruckus, not a bar fight or anything like that. And Henry does kind of take you or he kind of points out where his home is, and he's just kind of like, you don't need to come with me if you don't want to. I just really want to see my wife.
I was gonna say, you go. Should you want us or require us, we'll be at the Full Bear.
I just have to say, I really thought that you just walked out on her and found another woman. Turns out you were just
No.
tied up and turned into a
He
sort of
found another
creature.
woman, just didn't like her.
Yeah, he was. He was
He's also tied up to a bed by another woman. Yes, but
Well, I thought it was other ways, Henry, but I guess you're not so bad after all.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I really want to go see my wife now. Are we good?
Yeah.
Sure.
we're good.
Okay.
Carry
Okay.
on.
And he kind of
Well,
just darts off. And he kind of darts off, and you can see he kind of opens the door, and like you can hear him kind of like talking. He's like, Harriet, and you kind of hear like they fade to black over there. So you guys, where are you guys headed to the pub?
I would
I want to go bang on Henry's door to interrupt them.
No, I will physically restrain Timmick and be like, no.
Let the man. He's been turned into a wolf. He was restrained. All this. Let him enjoy his night with his wife. We'll
One
do it
night-
tomorrow.
Morning. Exactly.
He owes us 5,000 gold.
5,000 gold.
I mean, maybe a little less.
Life insurance policy. We saved his life. It's our insurance.
I would like to find, I don't know, like a hardware store, blacksmith, wherever I think I could sell off all of these daggers that I brought back.
There is a blacksmithy. You go up to it, and what would normally be this, you would hear the sounds of tink, tink as you would walk by it. Is quiet. The door is closed, and there's no candlelight coming in from the inside. It is really
closed,
late.
Maury.
It is really late.
Oh, it is late?
Yep. Oh yeah.
You want to sell those right now?
Well,
I don't think we should wait till the morning.
Timmick,
I wonder if we can
humans operate marginally differently than dwarves.
All
I
right.
want to bang on the door.
As long as I'm not naked in the morning, I guess I can wait till then.
All right. Can't promise.
Please don't be naked in the morning. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want
I
to.
didn't know he had two tails.
I don't want to be in that. Oh, thank you for that.
Really? I didn't think it was like that, but sure.
We'll see what happens in the morning. I sure do hope that potion took.
Indeed. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna head over to the inn and kind of like shake my coin purse like in the doorway at them, like over here, come on.
Like, hey, I'm ready to pay for some drinks.
So what? So you're just kind of like shaking your coin towards like your party members, basically, or what are you doing?
Yeah, as I'm like walking in the door, like luring them in, like, come on.
I am already in the door.
All right.
And as you kind of walk in, you see Wilburn sees you kind of walk. It's like, Shirley, yeah, hey, and just kind of keeps going, it's like doing what he's doing. Bar is packed as it always is, and he's kind of taking care of some orders and stuff like that. And he kind of he does, as you come in. Not only does he motion to you and stuff like that, he's like also kind of waves you guys over as well, or at least waves you over, Shirley.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'll make my way to him. And
So- How are you doing? Did you take care? Were you able to find Henry?
we did. He is enjoying his newfound freedom with Harriet.
Banging one out. Got it. That's great. I'll let the head axe know, and I mean, you guys pretty much can stay here as long as you want. I mean, whatever you guys need. You guys have done more than enough for this kind of small hand. And I mean, we'll confirm in the morning, but I mean, you guys had already done enough as it is, so.
Indeed. Well,
A message came for you too, by the way. Here, and he kind of like reaches down and he goes, seemed kind of important. Guy came over here with kind of like almost like a little red cape tabard kind of thing like you got going on there. I figure it's. He said it's for you, so there you go.
and I'll take it from him and kind of like tuck it in my jacket for now.
Okay.
Maybe for later tonight. And for now, we'll take one bottle of your summer wine.
Summer home. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
I wave at him.
We'll take.
Hey, Juliet.
I'll be responsible for her.
Please do.
And we'll take. If it comes in like a small cask, or at very least 3 pints of the dwarven mead.
Of course, right away. And he kind of like goes ahead and pours it, and he goes and reaches up. He had about 6 bottles up there, and at this point he takes down the 3rd one. So you guys have pretty much almost cleaned him out of this stuff already. And he goes like, sorry to part with this, but I can give you half. Like, normally it's a silver piece, but you can be yours for 5 copper tonight.
I'll take out. I don't want to give him like an offensive amount. Well, let's say not like, hey, you're poor, this is gonna help you. But like, let's say 5 gold pieces and be like, for your trouble in time. And take the bottle and the 3 meads and head towards the table.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, great. You guys can have whatever you want the rest of the night too. It's fine with me. You hear that, Clark? Whatever these guys want.
I hear him say that. I'm gonna go over to Clark and say, everybody in here, send him a round of milk.
You sure they're gonna like? You sure they're gonna like milk?
Who doesn't like milk?
Oh, fair enough. And he kind of like goes in there. You just see him like going down to that slosh bucket of milk, and just starts like 1, 2, 3. Like just keeps this. He's occupied for at least the next 2 hours.
Just going around and that milk. People are probably like,
Oh no.
He hands out the first couple, and you see people just like, the fuck? And he just kind of like whispers to him and points over to you, and they're all just like,
yeah.
hey.
What does the board look like?
The board is. There's a couple things you actually see on the board. Just give me 1 second. You see 2 main things kind of pop out at you. One of them says like, in need of alchemical reagents. See, speak to Anon Kine in Deer Meadow. And then you actually find another one that says that basically just kind of, it's very cagey, and it actually just kind of says like, need a group of adventurers to find something. And that's literally all it says. See Mazim.
I'm already drinking the bottle of wine. Anything?
Or a glass and be like, listen, I'm not sure how we do things in the Underdark. Up here, we at least take our time and enjoy getting drunk.
I didn't do this in the Underdark. I done this after. It's not important. Just give me my wine.
Very well. I'm gonna. Oh shoot, we haven't had a long rest. Well, never mind.
No, you have not.
Gonna keep an eye on Juliet then.
Give me my wine, bagpipe boy.
Don't make me play these.
I will. I still have spell slots.
I do too.
I go from the board over to the bar and just ask Roburn, who's Mazum?
Mazum, he's a local trader that's kind of come in through here not too long ago. He said he was heading up to Deer Meadow, but he kind of just threw it up there on his way through. I think he's just kind of hoping, like a shot in the dark, but he didn't really. That's all the information he gave. It's he didn't really talk much of it, other than the fact that he just needed a group of adventurers for a job.
Is he
Didn't
crazy?
really
The somewhat sane fella.
Seemed okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So I pull that one off, and just as we go over to drink, I'll just. Well, surely it's. I think it seems as if our intentions may be to travel to Deer Meadow. If that's the case, I believe this fella might be headed that way. There's also a guy there, Neen Khan, who's looking for some alchemical supplies. So it looks like if we're headed out to Deer Meadow, we may at least have a couple of prospective things to keep us busy on the way.
Good.
Anything to get out of this small town.
I was thinking we stay in the small town for a year or two. Become local heroes.
Maybe open a petting zoo or something.
That would be nice.
Timmick.
What about petting zoos?
Timmick will be the animal that people pet.
He just walks through a curtain, then comes back out like a goat, goes back in, comes back out as an elk.
And for his last trick, he bursts out as a werewolf.
I'm friendly, I swear.
And it comes out. Everybody just runs screaming from the
Yeah. There is zero rejoicing.
This is future plans, guys. I like, as she's swirling the wine around, I like how this sounds. We should do this.
Juliet, at this point, you're starting to feel a little buzzed.
This wine is so good.
Maybe you can figure out how to make it.
I sip it, like trying to figure out what does it taste like.
The tannins and stuff.
I believe it involves your feet, if I'm not mistaken.
She's still just doing the thing
Go ahead and give me a snooty check. Just give me an intelligence check or a wisdom check.
Wisdom.
Strong. Tastes good. Can't really figure out you can't really discern what the different ingredients or whatever is kind of mixed in with this wine, but it is strong as heck.
It's good though. This is the best wine I've ever had, guys. Does anybody want to talk about their tragic backstories?
Speaking of tragic backstories, seem to have gotten a letter from home. And I'll pull the letter out and
What does it say?
I'll read over it first, real quick before reading it out loud.
All right, Bumpy Crow, you're killing me. I can't drink that much water at once. So you, basically, the note says, in no uncertain terms, your presence is requested at your father's homestead. The Duke Dotrin needs to discuss a matter of great importance to the dukedom. He requests you as soon as possible. And that's all it's written.
Okay. So.
And it's written on parchment paper that's very stereotypical for the kind of correspondence that would come from your father's messengers.
Okay. Yeah. So I like know just looking at this is like the real deal. It's not like
Exactly.
all right.
Easily recognizable.
Okay. Yeah. So would I know? You know what? I'll ask Timic since he is my guide. Is your meadow on the way to Nulgrim?
Aren't you from Nulgrim?
I am, but after we got turned around in the forest, I'm not really sure where we are.
But isn't Nulgrim only like 2 hours away from here?
You do know that Deer Meadow is on the way to Nulgrim, if that's what you're trying to discern there, Shirley. You know how you got here.
Okay.
Surely you have looked at a map in your life.
I have, but
Deer Meadow is probably under your father's jurisdiction of control.
Oh. Guess you're right, it might be.
Timberwood probably is too, for all we know.
Well, so Timberwood would be much more important than Deer Meadow. So like I would know about Timberwood. Like maybe not again how to get here, but
What do
if
you?
I'm off the road. But yeah, like Timberwood is a valuable for the lumber and whatnot that it supplies to Nulgrim. It's very valuable. Deer Meadow is like, okay, yeah, it's kind of a good place to take a nap.
What do you mean by under your father's jurisdiction?
That's what I was curious too, Maureen. Are you royalty?
Haven't you seen him play those bagpipes? It's King of the Wind.
Duke
Breaking the.
And like I'm gonna like try not to be like wait till there's like some noise or what have you, and just kind of be like my father is the Duke of Nulgrim.
Your Grace.
What does that mean for you?
Means that I'm at his beck and call, and he has called. As I tuck the parchment back into my shirt.
Well, I mean, this may be none of my business, but are you all right with being called? Is the
I am.
relationship all right? All right.
It is my duty to protect our people and to serve them as best I am able.
Well, I definitely understand duty, but I meant on a more personal level. Are you all right with being called? Because
My father and I have a very
Complicated?
professional relationship. We are the rulers of many people. We hold more than our own wants and needs foremost.
is it just
Many
you and your
people-
father?
I'm sorry?
Is it just you and your father?
No, my mother resides there as well. And out of character, I forget if I have siblings or not. But I feel like I have a couple.
Yeah, you
You
do have a
haven't found
couple.
out.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, yeah. But no, I am quite happy to follow these directions.
Then I'll be happy to meet your father.
We'd be glad to meet all of you as well. We're strong citizens.
Does he like werewolves?
Do you like drow?
Maybe not so much with the werewolves, but if they're on our side, I think he could be swayed.
What about the drow?
We have no quarrel with the drow.
What if she hasn't paid taxes to your father?
we might just forget about that.
What if I don't want to pay taxes to your father?
You have done a great service for Nulgrim and the kingdom in helping me.
What if we start robbing his tax collectors and giving it back to the poor?
I heard somebody do something like that before.
There have
Sounds
been
cool.
a few. It hasn't ended well for them, let's put it that way.
Mm.
My father is a shrewd man, especially when it comes to collecting the Empire's dues.
Well, then first thing, I look around. Should we head over to where he's from?
We should probably sleep first.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning, get some more milk.
Timmick, I just can't understand what is the thing with you and milk.
It's good for you. Unlike that swill you're drinking.
You want to try some? It's good.
Gladly. Try some milk.
I'll try milk if you try the swine.
Take the bottle and drink the rest of it.
Woohoo!
Your
Oh.
turn. Here's your milk.
I eye the milk suspiciously. And I'm gonna do the same thing that Timmick did. I'm gonna down the milk.
I need you guys both to give me Constitution saving throws.
This is about to get awesome.
Oh god.
Oh God, it's a good thing I know prestidigitation.
Saving throw or ability check?
Saving throw. All right, with a
Ooh.
thanks to the dice gods, with a 17 and a 20 collectively, you guys are able to kind of stave off. Timmick, you are drunk, but you're able to handle your liquor, and you're able, with your dwarven fortitude, and just kind of having a tough stomach, and you've had some harder stuff than this wine before, and you're able to kind of hold yourself from getting a little bit too into it. Juliet, the milk is it's thick. As you're kind of chugging it, it almost has like some chunks of something in it, and you do almost gag for a half a second, but you are able to kind of tough through it, and the milk's kind of sour too. It came from a bucket, so.
I call those chunks quality.
Quality chunks. Oh God.
I put down the glass.
I'm going to pick up my
is-
milk glass and tell Roburn I want another round.
That is the most nastiest thing I've ever tasted.
I'm gonna yell out too. Extra chunks.
He's gonna feel like a strainer and like.
I'm gonna gag a little.
I'm gonna gag a little bit here in a little bit.
I mean, I have heard of clans that drink fermented yak's milk. It's kind of like if you combine those two.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no,
Big
thank
citizen.
you. Timmick, the hag said something back there that sparked my interest when I went over to
She was
her.
interested in you.
Huh?
Yeah, I heard her say she was interested in you.
No, wait. Was that what she was saying?
She winked right at you.
I don't think no, it's not like that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was.
No, it was not.
I wasn't sure if that piqued your interest or not.
Maybe they do things differently in the Underdark, but she wanted to see your Underdark.
She did not.
Oh.
I think
It looked like from where I was standing, but I didn't want to,
DM, was that what that was?
Oh yeah.
In real life, me did not get that.
Well, you're getting it now. It's all rushing back to you.
Juliet doesn't need to, but Ashley needs to roll an insight check.
Oh no. I thought she was talking about that you liked somebody, but she was talking that she liked me. Oh God, give me the wine. That's horrible.
I drank it all. That stuff's not as hard as you make it seem to be.
I'm not a dwarf.
I mean, this is true.
Like she's just there, like just in kind of shock, like,
Like,
oh no.
is this the real life? Or is this just fantasy?
Yeah, right. Oh.
That's easy come, easy go.
Was she cute at least?
No.
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 I guess that's really a question for you.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. That was me asking the question. Was she cute? No, not really. Mm-mm.
They're called hags for a reason.
Get out of here, cat.
Oh.
Just trying to scratch my foot.
I feel uncomfortable. I need a drink. I thought it was something. I'm gonna get a drink. That was just.
Yeah, I'll push my chunky milk over to her.
You can have your chunky milk, sir. I'm gonna get one of those dragon drinks.
Oh, the one they lit on fire?
Yeah, that one.
Ooh, that's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, I'll do that one too. Let's get 4 of those.
Sure.
Yep.
And you guys go up to the bar and request from Roburn, and he goes, "Oh, all right, coming right up." And you see him kind of put on his little show. He kind of like throws the ball at one point and kind of winks and continues to kind of with a flourish make, and all at once just like, and you have the 4 dragon fire shots in front of you. And he actually goes ahead and, taking a cue from you guys, he actually goes down, lights a match, lights them all on fire.
I was hoping he was going to use fireball.
Nice. Oh, jeez.
Show off.
All right, I'll grab mine.
Down the hatch.
Yeah.
Constitution saving throws, everybody.
Ooh. Well, you know.
Well, you know. Well, you can actually thank the dice gods, Shirley, because with a 12, you actually just stave off getting overly drunk, and you are able to withstand the basically the strong drink that is the dragon's breath, the dragon fire shot. Maury, you're fine too with a 19, which the dice gods also gave you. And then, unfortunately for Juliet, this is the thing that put you over the top this time. Between the milk kind of curdling in your stomach and the wine you've already had, this one is really giving it to you. And you actually, you're not only are you drunk, you're whole bottle of Summerhome drunk at this point. And Timmick, you don't feel a thing. You're just a brick wall.
He's
It's very serious. You're right. She doesn't handle the alcohol. This isn't very strong.
Wow,
stuff.
what are they drinking in the Underdark?
I don't know.
not much, apparently.
Yeah.
He started drinking, like, I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe like 5, 6 months ago. I don't have.
always
I
starts
haven't drank in decades.
far end of the spectrum. She never eases into it, you know?
No, I don't. Who eases into things?
It was hard.
I don't like
It's like
easing
Got to
into
college,
things.
she's going hard.
It's like you're trying to make up for lost time.
I'm trying to just forget things.
You don't have to
Like,
drink all the alcohol today.
I want all the alcohol. I just want to forget everything. That's all.
All right. Well, I think it's time to turn in. Come on. Then are you gonna come with?
I don't want to come with you. You're gonna get naked again and go eat
All right.
squirrels.
I'm all right. I scoop her up.
I'm like hitting him on the back. I don't even just go ahead.
And you are able to kind of bring her back up and put her to bed.
But that whole time, like, she's just like saying, "Marcus, put me down."
Mm-hmm.
Like, Marcus, just put me down. Stop it.
You'll be all right. Just sleep it off.
Hey, Shirley, before we go up, you should put on a show for the patrons. Take out them bagpipes.
One for the road, you think?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do
Stand
this.
up on the table and put on the show.
Listen, if I can put on a show for hags in the middle of the woods after getting the snot beat out of me by whatever that thing was, I think I can do it here.
Did you do it with the bagpipes back there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it was the bagpipes.
Yeah.
Getting better at it.
Yes.
Getting really good at it. With an
Nailed
natural
it.
20 for a total of 26 on your performance check.
Yeah.
You finally figure out, come to find out, you are now realize that like there's a little bit of, there's almost like an extra little, there's like a piece of dirt or something like that in the reed of the bagpipe that you're blowing into. And it was causing a lot of weird noise to kind of come out. You're able to kind of clear that and you're able to put on a tremendous performance. In fact, some of the people that are here actually throw some coins at your feet as they like kind of like joyous. You get the tavern like pretty riled up and thumping.
Nice.
I'm gonna do some dwarf dances.
Sure.
Hold on. I gotta. Oh, can I?
Timmy, you do some fairly acceptable dwarf dances with that 14 on your performance check.
And I'm assuming he just like plays like an hour and a half, just killing it the entire time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, he goes all the way through to like 2 a.m.
Yeah, like. Hold on. Can I post links in the chat?
Can you post links in the chat? Absolutely.
Okay, I figured I'd check beforehand. That's what I'm planning. It also happens to be on Shirley's playlist, so. You know.
Ah, there you go. Awesome. And with that, you guys are able to kind of take up and kind of after all the dancing and revelry, Timic just beatboying the entire time. You guys are able to head on up for a night's rest, closing possibly your adventure, or at least your time here in Timberwood for the time being. But with that said, as you guys begin to go to bed, Juliet, in your sleep, you are visited once again. A voice reaches out to you and says, "You've done well. Keep up, and I'm gonna have to help you with some more things."
Marcus.
Oh, don't worry about Marcus. He'll find the wrong end soon enough.
Realizing that it's not who she thought it was, and she's like, okay, what do you want?
Not much. What do you want?
I don't
You've
know
conti-
anymore.
You've continued to give me everything that I've been wanting out of you. I might have a job for you here once in a while.
You
But
have a job now?
not yet. But when the time comes, I know you'll be ready for it. You need some more grooming. This group seems like the right ones to be around. Don't take them for granted.
I wasn't gonna leave them even if you told me to.
Good. But again, Juliet, what are you searching for? Why did you leave home?
So I didn't want to be who she wanted me to be.
Right. Exactly. Does she still anger you?
Yes. Every time I think of her.
Good. Use that anger. Continue to strive off of it. You'll be able to... I'll be able to give you a few more gifts if you're able to tap into it. Let the anger flow through you and use it to smite your enemies. In my name.
What is your name?
You kind of hear almost the low guttural and you see coming out of the shadow the face of a white-fanged tiger peer out of the darkness. They call me Shekas.
So, now I know. You're the one who granted me this curse, this gift, whatever you want to call it.
It is very much a gift, child. You have the ability to do great things. You have the ability to take down those who stand against you, stand against your beliefs. If you continue to do this for me, I will help you. And that's where we're going to leave it tonight. So, thanks guys for hanging out with us this long. Looks like we got a few more people in there that threw in the awesome code word there. Let me just do one last check to see who we got in here, and we'll roll our little dice. And looks like it's going to be Caroline _Warner is the winner of today's dice giveaway. So congratulations, Caroline _Warner. You will, someone will be reaching out to you very, very shortly in order to be able to send that your way. We will, of course, be back here next Wednesday, starting at 8:30 p.m. and picking up where we left off. So we'll see what is in store for this small group of adventurers. And I want to thank you guys again. Remember all the cool stuff down there below. We're still doing the coaching lessons, all that fun stuff. We also have, the stream gears down there. Also check us out on YouTube and all the other the Discords and all that kind of stuff. We'll actually, if we get any fan art or anything like that, we'll actually pop it up in some of the, like in the little doobly, in the little thing down there, or during the intermission screens and stuff like that to showcase your art. And also make sure you tag yourself in the Twitter and stuff like that so we can actually, or you tag yourself in your art with your Twitter handle so we can kind of shoot people your direction. But I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. And until next time, we'll see you all soon.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks all for coming. It was super fun.